Hi everyone, Nils here and welcome back to the channel. As you can already tell by the title of this video, I have finally managed to collect every single secret unit in the game, which I have been after for the last maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I've been mostly casual, just opening in the night a little bit, trying to get everyone here and there, and we have finally collected every single one of them. So let's go ahead here and open our panel here. You see I kind of put weird names to all of them, just so we can manage to put them all in the straight row. So let's start obviously with the very first one here. That would be Kidbu. His in-game name is actually Pinky, and yeah, he really doesn't look like Kidbu at all. I don't know what's up with his look, but he looks pretty ugly. The previous Kidbu was looking pretty good, but this one does definitely not cut it in terms of looks. But if we go ahead here on Fighter's Index and head over to Pinky. Okay, well, so his level 1 damage would be 120, and if we were to translate it over to level 175, that would give us a grand total of 23 billion damage. So his ultimate looks kinda nice regarding his very ugly looks, and it's kind of a 5-hit unit, I think, or 6 rather. Okay, no, it's 5. So there we go, 4 hits, 5 hits. His ultimate looks pretty nice. It's still the old animation, but yeah, ever since they revamped the models, some of them look very damn bad, and I'm definitely really not a fan of him. Next up, we are gonna be heading over to the Naruto world, where our secret for this one is Nagato, and his in-game name, as you can see here, is called Asuku. So if we head over here to the Fighter's Index tab, and you will see here Asuku on level 1 gives us 120 damage, which is pretty much the same as Boo, no changes here. But if we go ahead here and we scale him up to level 175, we're gonna get a total of 24 billion, and I believe he's 1 billion stronger than the first one. Now his ultimate is probably the biggest ultimate in terms of both animation and charge time. So you'll see here pretty slow, 8 hits to charge up his ultimate, and the animation is probably the biggest one that I've seen. I don't think there is a bigger one. See here, he just like spawns this gigantic rock where he slams it onto the target. I'll just go a little bit to the back so we can probably capture it a little bit better. Okay, this should be fine here. He's gonna do it anytime now. There we go. See, this is actually huge of an ultimate. Very big, takes a lot of space. But yeah, besides that, I would really have liked to see him having some sort of a black aura around him or something. He would look way cooler than just that. However, he's one of the very first heroes in the game, so it's kind of understandable that he's a little bit more basic. Next up, we are heading over to JoJo's Crazy Town, and the secret for this one is none other than Dio. You can see him right here. His in-game name is Tokyo, and if we head over here to the Fighter's Index tab, scroll the way down, his level 1 gives him 130 damage, and if we're ahead to go level 175, 26 billion, 2 billion more than the Nagato. Now Dio is another unit with a very slow ultimate. It takes him 8 hits to charge up, making him the slowest unit in the game in terms of ultimate. Go C5 now, we're almost done. Here 6, 7, and there we go. And his ultimate is pretty flashy. You see he makes this huge bubble of yellow energy, and that is pretty much it regarding his ultimate. Overall, pretty cool looking hero. His attack animation also looks pretty nice. Next up, we are over at the One Piece Fruit Island, and next to me I have Doflamingo, aka Do Bonito, as his in-game name stands. And if we head over here to the Fighter's Index, you're gonna notice that his base damage is basically the same as the previous one. However, if we scale it up to level 175, he gets 1 more billion in a total of 27 billion. His ultimate is relatively fast, charging up in only 3 hits. However, animation-wise, it is really nothing special. We'll see now in about a second. Just does these like slices of wind, and then there's a whole bunch of steam coming out of the target, but honestly, nothing impressive regarding his ultimate. There we go. Honestly, just a pretty basic generic ultimate ability. Next up, we are heading over to My Hero Academia, and the secret for this one is obviously hoax. You can already tell by just looking at this guy here. His in-game name is Eagle-Eyed. It looks pretty nice as a model. I like the wings, they definitely make him stand out from the rest. And if we head over here to the Fighter's tab, we go level 1, 140 damage. He has already 10 more damage on his base level, and level 175, that would mean 29 billion total damage. Hoax has a relatively slow ultimate. It takes him a while to charge up, 7 hits, but his ultimate is very nice. It's definitely unique. He also drags up the target into the air and looks pretty cool. You can see now, guys, he's about to do it, and there we go. Just does these red beams and he throws the target up into the air. Pretty nice looking ultimate. We don't really have these ultimates where the target moves as well. There are not that many in the game, so definitely a cool one. For this next one, we are heading over to the world of the Titans, and next to me I have Mr. Berthold Hoover, aka Big Ben, as his in-game name stands. If we go over here to the Fighters Index, he's level 1, does 150 base damage. Level 175 would translate over to 30 billion damage. Now with Big Ben's ultimate, something is definitely wrong. First of all, let's begin by saying that he has a very slow ultimate. It takes him up 7 hits to charge up. But after the update where they remade the models, for some reason his ultimate doesn't really show the colossal form that he used to have prior to the game shutdown. So he would just transfer to his colossal form and smash the target. However, it does not really seem to work anymore, and I don't know if that is intended or not. Next up, we have Iorici from Demon Slayer. Again, another very basic model here. Looks pretty similar with a lot of other models into the game. His in-game name is Sun, and see here, base damage 160, level 175, 32 billion total damage. He has a relatively quick ultimate in just 4 hits. However, his animation is nothing really crazy. It's pretty nice, but it's pretty generic for the most part. So there we go. Here he just disengages backwards and then he does this sort of slash to the target. It looks pretty nice, but again, it's something really basic. For this next one, we're over in Tokyo Ghoul, aka Ghoul Town, and next to me I have Ito, or Two-Eyed, as his in-game name stands. It's a pretty cool looking unit, like just by himself, even though he doesn't have an aura around him. And let's see, let's start off with his base damage, 170 at level 1, and level 175 does 33 billion. Now, Ito has one of the most unique animations in the game, you're gonna see in a moment. However, he's a little bit slow when it comes to charging up. Takes him 8 hits roughly. There we go. He's about to do it now. Let's see here. Definitely looks pretty cool and it's something unique, unlike most of the abilities in the game. Next up, from Hunter x Hunter, we have Adult Gon. Definitely the most unique looking secret fighter by far, until anything we've seen so far. See, he has an aura as well, and he has a giant line above his head, which I always found cool when he just runs around like that. Especially like when you see people with 2 or 3 of these, it looks pretty fucking funny. And his in-game name is Far Away. Level 1 damage 170, and if you scale it up to 175, that would be 35 billion. In terms of ultimate, sadly, he doesn't really have that great of an ultimate. You're gonna see here. He's also a relatively fast unit. I think it's 5 or 6 hits, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it appears to be 6, but his ultimate is really nothing special. That's all he does, basically. But it's fine, he compensates because he looks pretty good in my opinion. Next up, we have Alice. She actually looks pretty damn good. I've never seen how she looks before. I got her and I never equipped her. This is the first time I equipped her. So her name in-game is Slice It. And if we go over here to the index tab, you can see, let's start over with level 1. base damage 180, and his level here rather, level 175, scales up to 37 billion. Her ultimate is relatively slow, it takes her up to 6 hits to charge up, and honestly it's really nothing special when it comes to the animation. However, we're gonna give her a pass just because she looks amazing. The waterfall effects around her also look pretty good, and that was pretty much it regarding her ultimate. It's a pretty boring one, I would say. Next up, we are heading over to the Bleach, aka Empty Dimension, and our secret fighter for this one is Aizen, or Eiko as his in-game name stands. And if we head over to the fighter's index, so level 1 base damage 190, scale it up to level 175, that would be 39 billion. So Aizen has a very cool ultimate. It's a bit of a weird one, but it's really cool. So relatively fast unit, just 4 attacks. See right here, he's gonna do it now, and his ultimate looks pretty cool. He sort of traps him in this box here, and all of these blades just come in and hit the target. Definitely one of the better looking ultimates in the game, in my opinion. We are over to Jujutsu Kaisen, and next to me I have the secret for this map, which is none other than Sukuna himself, the Curse King. So mostly just see basically Itadori's body where Sukuna is trapped inside, and if we head over to the fighter's index, level 1 Sukuna would give us a base damage of 200, and his level 175 counterpart does 41 billion damage. So Sukuna has my favorite ultimate in the game. It's basically his domain expansion from the film. You're gonna see it soon. It takes him a little bit of time to get going with his ultimate. He's a 6-hit unit. And there we go now, he's gonna cast it. So you see he does his domain expansion with the temple. Amazing, very cool looking ultimate. I really like it, and by far my favorite one out of all of the heroes in the game. Next up, we are over at the One Punch Man world, and what you will straight up notice is that this secret is unfortunately gold, is shining. So the secret for this one is Boros, and unfortunately I have well, not unfortunately, luckily for me I have a solid gold on him, but unfortunately you guys cannot see his true form, and I will just put a picture like right next to me so you guys can see how he actually looks. And if we get over here to the fighter's index, here we go, XYZ Metropolis. So his level 1 counterpart does 210 damage, and scaled up at level 175 it does 43 billion. Now Boros has a really slow ultimate attack as well. It takes 8 hits for him to charge up his ultimate, but his ultimate kind of looks like a buffed Kamehameha. It looks pretty cool in my opinion, and one of the better ultimate units in the game. There we go, he's just gonna fly up into the air and he's gonna do his gigantic beam. Overall, pretty nice looking ultimate. Next up, we are moving over to the 7 Deadly Sins world, and the secret for this one is Estarossa. You can see him right here next to me. He looks pretty nice, especially his shiny secret form is probably my favorite looking unit in the game. For those of you guys know the anime, so basically he was a part of the Ten Commandments, but in reality he was an angel, so his shiny form is Bael, the angel version. It looks pretty damn cool. And if we go over here to the index, level 1, 230 damage, level 175, okay, that's not quite that, level 175, 45 billion, so pretty strong of a hero. His ultimate is definitely on the slower side. It takes 7 hits if I'm not mistaken for his ultimate to charge up, and honestly his ultimate is nothing really impressive. You guys are about to see it in a moment. For me personally, it's really nothing crazy of an ultimate, and he's just gonna do some sort of a rain of fire now, purple fire rather, and that's pretty much about his ultimate. So our second to last secret fighter is Jean d'Arc, and she definitely has a unique looking model. She carries this gigantic flag, as you can see, very bright as well. The entire thing just shines up, and with this current update they kinda tweaked the model a little bit. You guys see this purple aura here? It was not a thing on the previous patch and on the update that she came out, so definitely an improvement to the model. But yeah, honestly, she just looks very annoying at this point. There was a time where I had 3 of them on my main team, and this flag just kinda got me to hit the model. Her ultimate takes just 5 hits to charge up, and honestly, it's a pretty good one. It's definitely not one of the bad ultimates. And unfortunately, this guy's gonna die, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit of time for it to respawn so we can go again. There we go. So just 5 hits, relatively quick of an ultimate, and it's a pretty nice one. For me at least, it's definitely much better than most of the ultimates in the game. So she's just gonna do this beam, and she just does this And for the very last secret, over here at the Black Clover world, we have King of Mages, aka Julius Novachrono. His model looks pretty nice. The only thing I don't like about it is that he looks exactly the same like the quest giver down there where my mouse is hovering. But besides that, he looks pretty nice. And if we go over here to the index, level 1 does 250 damage, level 175, 50 billion. Obviously the strongest secret fighter in the game. And let's go ahead over here and have a look at his ultimate ability as well. So he's a little bit on the slow end of ultimates. It takes him 8 hits to charge up his ultimate, so definitely the slowest one in the game right now. And there we go, he's gonna do it now. He looks a lot like Boros, but he has this slash animation at the end. It's a pretty nice looking ultimate, definitely better than most of the ones that we've seen around. Anyway guys, that was pretty much it for this video. Now there is a lot of you who ask the question often at times, how many pulls do I need to open a secret, etc, etc. Now there is honestly no answer to that. There is a lot of factors depending on how fast you're gonna find the secret. And obviously the first one is just pure luck. So I'm just gonna give you like the most simple explanation to this. So my free-to-play account has a luck of 3 and I got Sukuna in just 26k pulls. On this account I have 10.5 luck right now, and when I was fishing for the secrets I had 9.5. And if you go down here, you're gonna see like the gold star, Ito, it took me 382k pulls just to get him. And now you see this little bit crazy star, just 17.6k to find out the secret. So basically, the point of this is that it is very, very random. Now, based on my experience by playing the game, I can tell you that with a luck of 9.5 and more than that, the amount of times that you need to pull to get a secret would be roughly between 100 to 150 to 200k, depending on how much luck you have and if you have a luck boost. But yeah, like anywhere between 10 to 12, I would say 100 to 150k. Anywhere between 9 to 10 luck, I would say 150 to 200k. And now if you have a luck of 3, I would say it would take you over 700k pulls to get a secret. So you can kind of do the math. And yeah, that's not a rule of thumb, right? It's just like how the game happens. Sometimes you might just get a secret instantly. Like I have seen free-to-play people with a shiny secret, and the odds on that are beyond mind-blowing. Pulling a secret when you have a luck of 3 and also pulling a shiny secret, that's pretty crazy to think of. So based on my experience, this is kind of how it balances out. Now, if you had a luck of 7, for example, I would say around 400k pulls for a secret. So you guys can kind of make your own assumptions. But anyway, as always guys, if you liked the video, make sure to click that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And make sure to click the notification bell as well to not miss any of the future uploads. And until the next one, take care.